Because this kind of knee-jerk reaction has become a habit of the NDC. They're just doing things, and then when it didn't work out, they just change and they move on and act as though it's not them that do it, it's we that do it. And they come back and tell us another story and they're gone again. Least we forget the promises of regularization. Let's hear it.
The Congress commits to regularizing the status of contract workers who are working for the government and Imani workers who are working for the government within 12 months of assuming office.
Least we forget, the Prime Minister then came back and tell us, no can do. Let's hear him.
The regularization is focused on the several hundreds, if not thousands, of other persons who do not have those things. And the point that I think P.S. Marshall was making is that in order to treat with that, we simply cannot take all of them and make them established public servants for the simple reason that it will bankrupt the government. It will not be sustainable. So the discussion, the partnership, the compromise has to essentially be how we improve the terms and conditions of these persons' employment as close as possible to that of established workers in a manner that is sustainable. And that involves a number of things. How we agree on a pension formula for them, for example. How we agree on the vacation, etc., etc., etc.
You didn't know that when you stand up in every town hall you went in during the campaign and say you're going to regularize all public servants and you don't want to have parallel public servants and you're going to regularize all Imani. You didn't know that. Eh? And then dementia stepped in.
We never said we would regularize the public service in 12 months. We said we would regularize it. And we have begun to do so.
Table knock. Lest we forget, the Prime Minister was going to purchase his own airplanes if Liat and the rest of the Caribbean didn't get their act together.
As far as I'm concerned, if by October, November, we don't have an arrangement where us as leaders in the OECS are prepared to do that, then it means that Grenada has to go and lease 2 planes so that we can fly between Grenada and Barbados, Grenada and Trinidad. We will have to do so.
And then?
It requires cooperation from all the region because you can't just fly between Grenada and Carriacou. You have to fly Barbados, St. Vincent, so you need all of the islands to take part. You need all of the islands to be prepared to give the airline operator the rights to fly into their country. And if you don't have those things in place, air travel isn't going to come down. But it requires regional cooperation. It's not something that an individual island can do alone. Even if we bought a plane, we need the rights to travel into other islands, right? And we don't have enough traffic. 100,000 people, we simply don't have enough traffic to maintain a commercial airline that just carries people.
He acting as though it's we that say they releasing plane and telling us no, we can't do that. We had to get permission, and you didn't know you had to get permission before you talk about if this thing, if they didn't get the act together, we're gonna then Grenada will just lease 2 planes. What are you gonna lease it with? When we had to go to Petit Martinique and take all the suturing stuff from there to bring down to the hospital because they don't have enough. I don't know where to get the money for the drones, because we don't have money here for healthcare to save the lives of our people. We talk about our people all the time, putting people first, and our people, and you must take care of your human resource. But we die at the general hospital because we don't have medication and we don't have, and people had to trips across the carnage with blood in their backpack, and their family have to go. All now, just this week, someone messaged me about they had a relative in the hospital, as a matter of, not message, but called me about it. And they were told that they had to take the blood to the Lagoon Road, to Kirani James Boulevard. It could be easily contaminated. Or the blood that they took could be contaminated while you on the bus with it, the valve break. This thing is not a joke. Lots of wrongdoings taking place, and we must not say anything. We must not say anything. You that tell us you go in and purchase plane, don't come now and tell us you can't just go to the plane because you have. Don't act as though it's we that say that. It's you that say that. Lest we forget the clip on the housing project in the 2023 budget.
We have allocated $2.4 million to retrofit and upgrade the affordable houses that have been graciously donated by the People's Republic of China. We commit to the allocation of the 647 units no later than June of 2023.
So, what happened to the housing project? We're almost in June 2024. What really is going on with the housing project, the low-income housing project that the Chinese so graciously gave to our poor people for free? Lest we forget Stony Gut housing project.
Initiatives in this budget cycle include: 1, the Stony Gut Climate Resilient Housing Development Pilot Project, which aims to construct modern, high-quality, climate-resilient Grenadian-style homes in Stony Gut in the parish of St. John. Construction is expected to start in 2023, Mr. Speaker, and $2.5 million has been budgeted.
So, where are the houses in Stony Gut? And what happened to the 2.5 million budgeted for that project? 2.5 million was budgeted in the 2023 budget for the housing projects in Stony Gut. And then there was the trapping of the sargassum seaweed.
If you view life negatively, you will simply perhaps see the sargassum as a problem. But if you view life positively, we know that everything that has been placed on planet Earth is placed there by the Creator. And He gives us the wisdom to find creative ways to use whatever it is that is on planet Earth. So we see the sargassum as an opportunity for us, in fact, to be able to use it to the benefit of Grenada. And so we intend, first of all, to capture the sargassum before it gets to shore. We intend to research, bring into Grenada nets that we can run along the coastline so that we can capture the sargassum before it gets to shore. We can then bring it ashore. We can then store it appropriately, conduct the necessary research on it, and use the findings from the research to create products that would be useful for us. And let me make it clear, there are already other islands within the OECS that has been exporting the sargassum to European countries. So we have an asset which is simply lying along our coastline, and we have not been utilizing it. We are satisfied that we have enough scientists, that we have enough researchers within Grenada, the OECS, and the wider Caribbean who will be able to help us address this problem. And so we do not intend to allow our citizens in Soubise, Marquis, Grenville, and the coastal areas of St. David and St. George's to simply have to continue to live with the stench of the sargassum when it gets to shore and when the sun starts shining on it, which to a large extent is what creates the scent by the gases being released from the sargassum. So we intend to address this matter and address it in a way that will in fact create economic activities for St. Andrew and St. David. So we want to assure you that we will not simply allow this problem to go unchecked.
You trap the sargassum with nets Since then, we had loads of sarcasm coming in. Where the net? Oh God, how weak. Lest we forget. Lest we forget. We had pie in the sky. Let's say the pie in the skies.
So if I stand here without the document, without the computer, and I come to you and I say, the National Democratic Congress intends to ensure that there is at least one health center in every parish that operates 24 hours a day, and that there is at least one pharmacy either connected to the healthcare center or a private pharmacy that operates 24 hours a day in each parish, and you like the idea and you clap, will you call it a pie in the sky idea?
And you like the idea and you clap. They're clapping for anything you say, Prime Minister. You the beloved Prime Minister. And it stops there, you know. It stops there with you. The buck stops with you. For them, it don't matter. They must have nobody else in the cabinet. But their beloved Prime Minister could tell them anything. Trapping seaweed. Eh? And all sorts of lovelies. All sorts of sexy statements. And they believe it, they clapping away. And they answer, and if I tell you, and you no, yes, least we forget. You're more pie in the sky.
So if I say to you, we can assist our farmers through GDB by getting loans that would allow them to either form cooperatives or to buy themselves by having chiller trucks with solar panels on them that goes around the island collecting their fruit and in turn driving around our various parishes to sell their fruit directly to us so that they eliminate the need for MNIB, so that they have longer storage and they can bring the fruit directly to you. Would you call that a pie in the sky dream? So it's as simple as that. If I say to you there are trucks that we use to go on the electricity pole, to go on the telephone pole, and these trucks probably finish work at 4 or 5 in the evening, and we can ask the owners of these same trucks to rent them or provide them for free to our farmers so that you can put men in the same bucket and you can go and pick the coconuts, you can go and pick the mango that is in the tall trees, you can go and pick the sapodillas, you can go and pick the guava, anything that you ordinarily would not be able to reach. And you can use these hydraulic trucks to pick the fruit rather than them falling on the ground. Or you can put netting at the bottom of our mango trees and probably use the same hydraulic trucks to shake the trees so that the mango falls and they're not falling on the ground and damaging. You will call that a pie in the sky idea? That's mango on your plate. That's golden apple on your plate. That's sugar apple on your plate. And the more of this we could get is the more we can do agro-processing. Because for us to do the agro-processing, we need to get the mangoes, the sapodillas, the guavas, the golden apples in large quantities, consistently, all the time. And we need to be able to preserve them so that they give us a longer shelf life. So these are not pie in the sky ideas.
It's not. And has it materialized yet? Did you borrow a Grenelec truck and go up in the mountain and shake them trees? I mean, you don't need 2 terms to do that. Something as simple as that, as you said, it's as simple as that. That don't need 2 terms. You're doing that first wrong. That could have been done in the first year and put on your achievements. Grenelec truck up in the mountains, shaking trees, fruit trees. Mm-hmm. And then there's Vision 75.
In your position, but I'm not. I would simply say, we are not exporting any raw nut mix, period. And they said to me, well, okay, fine, how are we going to pay the farmers? I said, it's simple. You get the financing for 2 years, you pay the farmers, and you stockpile and buy all the nutmegs. You buy all the nutmegs, and you keep it in Grenada. And if you do that, you have the stock that allows you to then begin to manufacturing your nutmeg oil, your nutmeg fat, any product you need from nutmegs. But manufacturing requires stock and it requires volume. If you are selling the nutmegs raw, you will never be able to manufacture. And you're caught in a centuries-old vicious cycle where you take your wealth, the black gold, as we call it, the pride of Grenada, nestled on our flag, and we hand it over to someone else to manufacture. Now, is that so difficult to implement?
Simple. Simple. Man has the answers for everything, and yet still we flatten we back in the street